This time on Video Game Tango, we've got Gamescom, and it brings along with it 38 new games to talk about. And if you get lost along the way, make sure you check out the blog over at videogametango.com for a full list of all the games, along with their Steam links, the platforms they're available on, and their release dates.
This is Nick, and I review games based off their cinematographical trailers, the way you would review a book based off the Starbucks it was written at.
Hi, I'm Josh, and I also do that thing.
I'm Andy, and this is Video Game Tango. Welcome, everybody.
And we're back.
It's Video Game Tango.
Hello.
Hey, Gamescom is this week, and we've got a lot of news to cover.
Aw.
We're going to get kind of right into it.
Gamescom is my favorite.
So you're saying there's no
It's a lot of
time,
games.
no time for my tomfoolery?
No.
What? Oh,
Fool around on balcony time.
There's Bill foolery. There's no Tom foolery.
William Foolery's
William Foolery.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I told him what would happen if he ever fucking showed his face in this apartment again. Where is he?
Behind you.
He's over there.
Wait.
And we'll green screen in William Foolington behind you.
William de Bloody. All right, so the first game we have on the list is Everywhere.
To everyone?
The official teaser trailer is out. There's very little information known about this game other than it's a new IP by Build a Rocket Boy, which is a brand new company as well. There's a lot of, it looks like terrain traversal. Really, this trailer just shows off the terrain. What they said is it's going to be an MMO-style game where players get to share their content. That is what's known so far. It's kind of a nothing burger. As far as the visuals go, they look clean. A little bit of a cel-shaded style, a little bit of third-person over-the-shoulder action. Oh my God, Josh. I swear to God, if you get Dr. Pepper all over the set, I'm going to pee in it.
Just make it worse.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
When it's time, it's time.
Is that the same game?
It is the same game.
What?
Listen, there's a lot going on. Check out everywhere.game for more info as it comes out. We don't have a lot right now. Like I said, kind of a nothing
Check out
burger.
hashtag to fanwood.
That's the one.
If I had to guess, this smells like blockchain to me.
Maybe. It very well could be.
I'm getting the smells of Mega Blocks
Yeah.
and chain links.
That makes sense.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Make a chain.
A little nift up in there. Next up, we have a game on the list that is the next one in the series, Dune Awakening. Yet another Dune game from Funcom after not only Metal Hellsinger, the game we played the demo of, the To The Beat shooter. They released Dune Spice Wars, which I've watched quite a bit of. Looked really, really surprisingly good for halfway between a 4X and an RTS. But Dune Awakening here, if I pull up their copy, rise from survival to dominance in a vast and seamless Arrakis shared by thousands of players. So we're looking at some kind of MMO deal. Dune Awakening combines the grit and creativity of survival games with the social interactivity of large, persistent multiplayer games to create a unique and ambitious open-world survival MMO. So, a Dune MMO. Again, like a lot of things, when you're dealing with a franchise and IP and universe such as Dune, this could be amazing or it could be garbage. The cinematic trailer looks great, but again, you should know my opinions by now. Cinematic trailers can look amazing. It doesn't tell me anything about your game. So hopefully this is good. Given that they made Spice Wars, which was an ambitious title to try to meet a 4X and RTS somewhere in the middle, given that Metal Hellsinger was a blast, the only other claim to fame is what looks like an expansion for Conan Exiles. So they have a little bit of MMO experience there. I wouldn't say confident, but I would not be surprised if Dune Awakening came out to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, me either. I mean, as far as the track record goes, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Cinematics look cool, but I mean, it's cinematics, so.
Yeah, and just a heads up, most of what we have, with the exception of a couple games, are cinematic trailers. Up next, Josh is going to talk about it. We've got the Callisto Protocol. This is one of the few gameplay reveal trailers that we've got.
One of the few ones there. So the Callisto Protocol, it's a gravity gun style weapon, stealth takedown mechanics, regenerating enemies, and it's a Tomb Raider. You're gonna have some Tomb Raider style quick time, like puzzle style events. Looking through there, but I mean it looks pretty cool, and it's I'm glad to see a gameplay trailer out for it. But it's definitely stealthy. The gravity gun mechanics on this are very cool. So instead of like you're playing Assassin's Creed, you're sneaking up behind people, right? There's only so many ways you can get this fucking guy. Not only do you have those backstab mechanics, but you have like pseudo force powers. You're dragging people into things. You're then throwing them back into other things. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what we've seen so far has been pretty mild gameplay, but mostly we've seen theatrical trailers for the Callisto Protocol. This is kind of a showcase of what we're looking at as far as gameplay is concerned. It looks like they have limb destruction. It looks like they've got regenerating enemies. There's going to be quick time events, kind of Tomb Raider-esque, and those kinds of death scenes. It looks a lot.
90% Dead Space.
It is. Say that's what it really reminds me of is Dead Space, but
yeah, no, really, it is the spiritual successor to Dead Space. So it looks good so far. Right, it looks like pretty standard shooter fare with a few, like it just steals mechanics from other games, which is. That's not inherently a bad thing.
I want to say like the enemies kind of remind me of Flood.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I mean, I'm seeing some very familiar sci-fi aspects of the game, but it looks cool, and so I'm glad to see a trailer. But
yeah,
it's been teased for months now.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've actually talked about it a couple of times on here, and so it's nice to see it progressing each time we've brought it up. They've actually made significant jumps forward, so that's cool.
Yeah, we have it in December, so we're less than 4 months away from the actual release. December 2nd comes out on Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. So you can pretty much play it on anything but the Switch, which is going to kind of be the theme of most of these games. We do have a couple games that are going to be coming out on Switch, but for the most part, we are looking at PC. There's nearly all of them have a showing on PC. Most of them are on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One.
I was going to say, I'm seeing a lot of this gen and last gen consoles other than the Nintendo on here.
Yeah, there are a few that are going to be PS5 and Xbox Series and or PC exclusive. It's interesting that we're finally getting some next gen exclusive stuff instead of cross gen.
I was gonna say it's only natural to get those eventually. It's honestly, I'm surprised it's taken this long.
There are very few games coming out or that have come out recently that are not cross gen. So we are starting to see some pure next generation titles. Next up on the list, we've got The Lords of the Fallen. This one looks super cool. It is, I mean, it's another Souls-like, but it's definitely got it's kind of a Gothic themed Souls-like, which, sounds just like more Dark Souls. But at the end of the day, it does kind of have its own flavor. It does look a little bit more forgiving than your typical Dark Souls fare. We only really get a theatrical trailer here, but the theatrical trailer does look fucking dope. Lords of the Fallen is from Hexworks. It's a vast world awaits an all-new dark fantasy action RPG, The Lords of the Fallen. As one of the fabled Dark Crusaders embark on an epic quest to overthrow Adir, the demon god. This one's interesting. Now, I want to let you guys know that I did throw us into the pile for some betas, some early access stuff. So hopefully we get responses in that. This is not going to be one of them. This one requires a minimum of 5,000 subscribers to any given platform, whether it be a streaming platform or YouTube. So we probably won't be checking this one out. But getting another Souls-like, which is, right now in vogue.
It is in vogue, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool Gothic horror style. A lot of spikes, swords, chains.
I saw I watched part of a trailer for this today, set to some pretty dope. Yep, it was this trailer right here, set to some
the trailer music is Mother by Danzig.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. So they're clearly not taking themselves fully seriously.
Yeah.
What confuses me is this is the same name as Lords of the Fallen, which came out just 8 years ago by
Correct.
Deck 13. So, and it's also a dark, gritty, third person seeming, that's kind of weird.
So that's what I wanted to talk about next, was while I was looking for more information on this and potentially some gameplay, I actually ran into a video from Yahtzee talking about Lords of the Fallen,
The
not
original.
the new The Lords of the Fallen, and he describes it as a Souls-like hellscape.
Yeah, I played it.
Just and
Lords
it
of
really
the Fallen
is.
was I mean, if Dark Souls was a soup, Lords of the Fallen was a stew. It was chunky. It was slow. It was like deliberate, right? It wasn't great, but it was a decent game that required you to take time with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising to see such a blatant name steal.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to call it. They're not the same studios.
Not the same
So
studios. It doesn't look like this is supposed to be a
making it
spiritual successor.
A Dark Souls-esque game. Again, all we have is a cinematic trailer, but we'll see. I don't know. When is that coming out on?
That is coming out on Steam, PS5, and Xbox Series.
Okay, we'll have to take a look at that. Well, next up, I've got the also known as Hogwarts Legacy. New Harry Potter game. This one's been teased for a while now. Copy says, experience Hogwarts in the 1800s. That's a cool idea. Take it back a couple hundred years. Your character is a student who holds the key to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. Make allies, battle dark wizards, and decide the fate of the wizarding world. This one's by Avalanche Software, which I believe has a history of mostly Disney games. They made Tak and the Power of Juju back in the day, but the Cars games, Disney Infinity. So they've had a long, tight bind, I'd say, with Disney. Given the amount of press and stuff we've seen for this game, I know they're putting a lot of money and effort into it. It's looking like a third-person over-the-shoulder action-adventure game. A surprising amount of zombies for a Harry Potter game. I had to look it up. There are technically zombies in the Harry Potter canon. They're called like Infernus or something like that. But yeah, it's a bunch of kids fighting zombies underneath Hogwarts.
Yeah.
If you're like the Harry Potter universe, which I do, minus all the recent Rowling nonsense, maybe something to check out. But it's the trailer, there's some gameplay. It's obviously shown from a cinematic point of view, but nothing to really sell or explain exactly what the gameplay looks like. I think a more in-game cutscene style gameplay. So that's February 10th, I think 2023 is what that just said.
Yes.
And that one is coming out on Steam, PS5, PS4, the entire Xbox Series. You can pre-order for some bullshit if you want to do that, but don't.
You absolutely can. Now, this has been described previously as an MMO.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought the game was going to be an MMO.
Yeah, so this Hogwarts Legacy was previously described as an MMO. That doesn't seem to be the case now. There hasn't been any announcement. I did look deeper into this, but there doesn't seem to be any announcement as far as they changed the path that the game's going to take. So it's interesting that we didn't hear the word MMO come from Jeff Keighley's mouth when he was talking about it previously in the Gamescom.
As of March 18th, according to GameRant.com, it is a single-player game.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
They have made that decision.
It's good to have that cleared up because as far as talk about the game goes, especially on Reddit, it seems like people are still fairly convinced that this is going to be an MMO. So I don't, a Harry Potter MMO is kind of a cool idea as far as the world goes. It would have been fantastic
10 years ago, but they've missed their moment.
Yeah, I agree. So a
Rowling has shot that Harry Potter in the footicus, toicus, and
too little, too late.
Too little. Hopefully the game's good. We'll see. What's up next, Josh?
We have new tales from the Borderlands. Ooh. So you're going to be deciding the fates of an altruistic scientist, her ambitious and streetwise brother, Octavio, the fierce frogurt-slinging friend. So you're going to be clawing and conning your way through 5 thrilling chapters. So it's another offering from Gearbox. It's set in, of course, the Borderlands universe here. I never actually played the first set of these games. So
what do you mean by set?
Because there's Tales from the Borderlands. So this is a follow-up game, new Tales from the Borderlands. So I don't know the characters or anything from the first one, but I love Borderlands. So I might be picking up the first one. So I'm ready for the second one here.
Did Gearbox do the Walking Dead games?
No, that was Telltale.
Telltale. So this isn't a Telltale story adventure game.
This is not. This
fully
is
Gearbox.
Yeah. So Tales from the Borderlands is separate from the Telltale games, Borderlands games.
Okay.
What's the most recent derivative, Tiny Tina's.
One Life.
That's a Tales from the Borderlands series. So this is another one. So this is just another reason to put like a story forward Borderlands game out.
So I mean, if you like Borderlands graphics and style of gameplay, then you're gonna like this. Get on board, baby.
This is for the Borderlands fans, and there are a lot of them.
There are a lot of them. So this is coming out on Steam, Epic, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Hey, we got one, guys.
Yeah.
We got one.
It's about time. Nintendo, you're getting a little bit of love from the third party. Next up, we've got Dying Light 2, Stay Human Bloody Ties? No, it's called Bloody Ties.
Human Bloody
For
Ties.
some reason, the trailer has a weird name, but it's
a game about... Oh, never mind.
Dying Light 2 Bloody Ties. Dying Light 2 Bloody Ties is a DLC for Dying Light 2. It's supposed to be a pretty large expansion. Players will embark on a new story adventure. You will reach the epicenter of death, wealth, and absolute splendor in a stunning
Las Vegas.
location, the Carnage Hall.
Okay.
Yeah, so I almost said Carnegie because, that's what I do. But this old opera building is full of challenges and quests, surprising new weapon styles, character interactions, and discoveries to uncover. Made by Techland, it's coming out October 13th. Pre-orders are available now. It's going to be out on Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One.
Well, as crazy as it looks, if I didn't know any better, I'd say the whole game takes place inside a Coliseum ring.
I mean, that's kind of what it looks like, right?
They're changing the scenery, but it's kayfabe the game.
Yeah. Weird way to put it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it is. Yeah, I think it was Carnegie Hall.
Oh, and they changed
Like
it
in
to
the trailer?
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, so Carnegie Hall got turned into Carnage Hall. Yeah.
Interesting.
Clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What I have up next is Tortuga.
That means turtle.
It
I like
actually
turtles.
means tort and beluga whale combined. It's a pastry whale.
Oh!
Yes. No. What we have here is, quote unquote, a pirate's tale telling the journey of a pirate captain with a lust for gold and glory who assumes command of a fleet of pirate ships to strike the Caribbean. Choose your pick. This is made by the same developers as some pretty solid games, the Railway Empire series, the Tropico series, Sudden Strike, if you played any of those, and the old Commando games, which I absolutely loved when I was younger. So we're looking at probably like a more zoomed out version. You're not controlling an individual pirate. You're controlling a ship or more than likely a fleet. We have seen a lot of pirate fleet games, turn-based, over the years. Everyone has been chasing the high of Sid Meier's Pirates for 30 plus years now.
Yeah.
I've seen some that have done a good job. I've seen a lot that have tried with heart and failed. Given the history of the studio with Tropico and Railway Empire especially, pretty solid bet. If you've played Tropico, if you played Railway Empire, you probably know what you're getting into. It's nice to see them branching out into something new, given that we're up to like Tropico 47 at this point.
Isn't it just Tropico 4?
Tropico 7, 8, 9?
Oh my God.
It looks like Tropico 6 is the last one they worked on.
The last one I played was Tropico 3, and that feels like it was day before yesterday.
Yeah. I could be wrong. 6 might be the newest one. But this one is coming out predicted Q1 of 2023. We're looking at a release on the Epic Game Store, PS5, PS4, and the Xbox Series.
So my next one here I got is Marauders. Now, Marauders is a tactical first-person multiplayer looter shooter. Goodness gracious, that is a lot of words.
I watched a streamer play this game.
Now, it is set in a sci-fi universe. As a space pirate, you can work solo. You can work in a crew. A squad of up to 3 other players to navigate this hostile battleground, hunt for the loot, craft the new weapons and gear, salvage the crap you're going to need, and all the things you'll need to survive. Dude, I love shit set in space. This looks fun and exciting to play, and if I get to play with my homies, raiding other people's space things, ships, because that's the word I was looking for. It looks fun, but I mean, again, we're seeing gameplay here. It's your standard first-person shooter looking kind of stuff, but carrying some of the loot. You're going to have to, a little bit of inventory management. That's always a little bit of fun.
Did you watch Iron Sky?
The movie?
Nazis from the Moon?
Yes, it's been a hot minute. But
so having seen a couple hours of gameplay, this is very much that super diesel punk feel.
Yep.
We were playing as these, they're not Nazis, but they look like
it.
But it plays just like Escape from Tarkov, just like Psycho Frontier, but with a very, very minimal HUD. The neat shtick here, like Josh was saying, is that you start on your own little ship and you're trying to land on these big ones and loot this place and not only get out of the big ship, but onto your little ship and get to an escape jump gate before enemy ships or players shoot you down. It looks like a solid escape looter shooter.
Yeah, extraction shooters right now, they're all the rage.
They're all the rage.
With Escape from Tarkov and Psycho Frontier.
I was gonna say Psycho Frontier,
yeah, big time.
It's not often we get heavy diesel punk flavored games,
No.
and I did appreciate that.
The spaceship zipping through the ethers out there looks like a fucking World War II submarine.
Kind of does, yeah.
And that's
the kind of armor you wear. Yeah, it's very like World War I, World War II-esque looking tech, but in space. Yeah.
Dope.
It's coming soon. It's going to early access.
It looks like it's Steam only. Oh wait, nope. Yep, it looks like it's
Steam only. Yep, Steam only, and it's early access October 22nd or October 2022.
Okay, that's coming up, y'all. Keep your thumb on the pulse. Keep your thumb on the pulse.
There have been some content creators that have gotten early copies, so there is gameplay footage out there. Check it out if extraction shooters and looter shooters are your jam, because it does look good. Next up, we've got Destiny 2 Lightfall. Now, I am not a Destiny guy.
What's a Destiny?
And that's because Destiny fucking lied to me.
You missed the Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, still coming from Bungie. It actually, so weirdly enough,
like grunts.
I thought we were getting another Warhammer 40K potentially by the look of those Marines that we saw earlier in this trailer. Very Warhammer 40K-esque. And I was thinking, okay, interesting, a different stylistic take on the Warhammer franchise. But no, I was very surprised to find out while watching this live that it's Destiny 2.
Taking place in New Miami, apparently.
Apparently, dude. But honestly, I think as far as like the aesthetic, looks fucking cool.
Destiny 2 has always had the best aesthetic of any game that's ever released. That doesn't mean the game's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Taken King was supposed to be really good. And from what I understand, especially from, people that play Destiny, is that the content has been getting better as the game ages. And that seems to be echoed throughout most people's play experiences with Destiny. Maybe it's time, especially since Destiny 2 is free, to give it another go. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But as far as, it's very aesthetically pleasing, very vibrant colors, which hasn't been Destiny's jam. Destiny's been full of a lot of brown and gray, and now we're seeing a lot of neon lights and stuff. And that's cool. I like that. That makes my lizard brain happy.
What's the Marvel movie that was the good one, Thor Ragnarok?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that looked like a Thor Ragnarok to Civil War.
Yes.
High, Technicolor, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, like I've said about other free-to-play games. If a free-to-play game looks interesting, you play it.
Yeah.
Just do not give them money until you're sure that you're going to enjoy it, right? If you haven't played Destiny yet, I think it's worth trying. Just be aware that it's easy to get sucked into, and it's easy to get into that sunk cost fallacy. A lot of people still play Destiny because of the sunk cost. They spent so much time playing the game that they're willing to put up with its flaws. So try it out if you haven't. That was Lightfall. Is the name of the new one?
Yep, Destiny 2 Lightfall. It's going to be available for pre-order on Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. And it comes out February 28th of next year.
Okay. So on to the longest copy we've had so far for Sonic Frontiers. Chapter 1, page 1. Worlds are colliding in Sonic the Hedgehog's newest high-speed adventure. Should I just speed up the more I read this?
Do it.
In search of the missing Chaos Emerald, Sonic becomes stranded on an ancient island teeming with unusual creatures. Battle hordes of powerful enemies as you explore a breathtaking world of action, adventure, and mystery. Accelerate to new heights and experience a thrill of high-velocity, open platforming freedom as you race across 5 massive Starfall islands. Jump into adventure, wield the power of the ancients, and fly to stop these new mysterious foes. Sonic Team. breath. So yeah, a new Sonic game, 3D, but it looks like it's still kind of on rails. Sonic games have been all over the place in the last 5 years. We've had some Shadow with a Gun Sonic games, and we've had some reboots.
The Sonic with a Gun's involved, I'm not really interested.
And we've had some reboots that took it way back to the classic play. At this point, hopefully, you know if you like Sonic or not.
Yeah.
I appreciate the chutzpah of them trying to dip their toes back into something new, because they've taken Sonic in a lot of really weird directions.
Was Sonic the original Naruto runner?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably
it's
not.
a Japanese company.
Anime's old.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Astro Boy probably did it first. But yeah, he's fighting new looking robots. There's a floating child that's glowing red. So far, he doesn't have a human girlfriend, so
it's a win.
A+ effort.
That's a win.
Yeah.
If you like Sonic, this one is looking like November 8th is a scheduled release. Pre-order available. Don't do that. Steam, Epic Game Store, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, I believe is how you pronounce that.
Indeed. Yeah. I mean, we don't say it often enough. So, I think for the Sonic lovers out there, this is going to be a new meaty game for you. Saw a lot, like what looked like a lot of levels for an announcement trailer.
I appreciate them showing gameplay.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a couple levels that tugged right at the nostalgia part of me, where like they were looping through, and it's like, oh man, I know that color scheme. I know those coins.
Yeah.
Complete side note, I'll make it quick. Sonic Mania is a Nintendo Switch title where they re-released a few of the Sonics.
Oh, yeah.
Got it for the niece and nephew. It's fantastic.
Sonic Mania is fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's great. If you like Sonic, like if your kids are young enough to like give them that Sonic as their first Sonic, and they will not be disappointed.
Sonic Mania might be the best Sonic.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. All right. Next up.
Apparently, we got one that just hits all the spots for me. It's Under the Waves, so we know how Josh feels about ocean games. Stan, a professional diver, he's in the North Sea and is struggling to overcome a life-changing loss. So, I mean, Stan's having a rough go of it. And now, during all of this, he's in an extended mission underwater and stuck in a self-imposed solitude. So, by yourself, under the ocean. Oh, my God.
Josh is having trouble just reading this.
And he's going to start to experience strange events underneath the waves by himself, guys. And not really by himself. You'll be there. We'll be there with him. So he's not truly alone.
I mean, you won't.
I won't, because I'm not.
We're going to make Josh cry.
I'm not going near this.
Absolutely.
This is terrifying. My butthole may never unpucker. So he makes the most significant choice of his life. There's a lot to unpack in the copy there. It looks mildly terrifying. I don't really want anything to do with it. But if you do, it's coming soon to Steam.
And Josh, I believe
Game
that's
Stores, PS5, PS4, Xbox, the Xboxes, both Series X and One.
Gotcha. Sorry to interrupt. I believe that's by Quantic Dream. You have a list of games there that they made.
Oh, yeah, of course. We're looking at a few of their other ones. There's Detroit Recon Human.
Detroit Become Human.
Become Human. Recon Human. That's the next one that's coming out now.
Yeah.
Heavy Rain.
And Beyond Two Souls, I believe.
Beyond
and they're
Two
making
Souls.
the new Star Wars Eclipse game.
They are making the new Star Wars Eclipse game, which I feel has a lot of promise, because that was the one that was going to run a bit like Uncharted, I believe. It was the story game, right?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's like 8 announced.
I know you haven't played Heavy Rain or Detroit or anything, but they're very heavily driven story games. So,
I do like me a story game.
Josh, I need to get you over here so you can play Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Let's get you to play.
You would like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Human?
I think you would like that a lot.
Yeah.
It'd be great for our upcoming Cyberpunk game. You play as a synth
Yeah.
in like a cyberpunk setting.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Guys, do you remember 1995?
I do.
Yeah. So we're getting a new fucking Monkey Island game. Now, as far as the trailer goes, as far as it goes, there's not a whole lot of information given in the Monkey Island Return to Monkey Island rather. Return to Monkey Island is an unexpected, thrilling return to the series creator Ron Gilbert that continues the story of the legendary adventure games. Made by Terrible Toy Box. It's coming out September 19th. Pre-orders are available now on Steam and Nintendo Switch. It looks like it's carrying over the same sense of humor. And we're getting kind of a sequel or at least a very spiritual successor.
Man, the 90s when problems didn't exist.
Right?
What a magical time. Maybe this game on this island here, we can find those. Now, I kind of vaguely remember somewhere in my brain maybe playing the first like Escape from Monkey Island. Yes.
Yeah.
You might have, yeah. I mean, it was before you and I met. I don't know if I ever showed this Day of the Tentacle, any of those old LucasArts point and click adventure games. I don't know if you were able to play them.
Maybe mostly in the 90s, guys. I pretty much, like I said, only played Donkey Kong and fucking Mario Kart, man. Like classics. Don't get me wrong, but I was very. Everything was a Nintendo, yo.
Yeah. So I get it. Everything was a Nintendo until I got a PlayStation.
My only concern would be that the tongue-in-cheek humor in Monkey Island doesn't translate well 30 years into the future. Hopefully they'll be able to find a good balance between what's funny now and that old style of, it's like watching old sitcoms.
Yeah,
I used to laugh.
Make it funny for us because Zoomers aren't going to buy that shit.
Exactly.
I mean, that's probably true.
They don't have the money to do it anymore.
Return to Monkey Island is kind of up our wheelhouse, right?
Yeah.
So I look forward to it. I mean, if it can give me the same experience that I had and remind me of the good old days, I'm into it. My nostalgia glasses are on for this one because I loved Escape from Monkey Island. I was honestly too young to really appreciate it for what it was at the time. But it had me rolling, laughing. It was a fun point and click adventure game, which is what I was into at the time. So, and there was a lot of it going back to those old LucasArts games. So I look forward to playing it. It's definitely on my wish list. So make sure you check it out. It is available for pre-order now on Steam or Nintendo Switch.
I have a soft spot for the next one coming up, enough that it concerns me that this concept has come together, and I'm really hoping it's good.
Yeah.
We have Moonbreaker coming up.
Isn't that a James Bond movie?
No, that's Satellite Crusher. I'm sorry, Luna Breaker.
Yes, of course.
Planetoid Smasher. No. Moonbreaker is a turn-based strategy tabletop tactics game. You have my intrigue here. Designed to be a true digital miniatures experience, this is set in an expansive sci-fi universe crafted by Brandon Sanderson. People, Way of Kings, Mistborn, last author of the Wheel of Time books. Okay. On screen, we have miniatures rendered in 3D in a turn-based tabletop new sci-fi IP. Obviously, kind of like an homage, spiritual successor, not successor, but in the same veins of 40K, the Warhammer stuff. But just like you're getting to play a tabletop war game on your computer. It's looking very Technicolor, nice, surprising animations for little, static 3D models.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brandon Sanderson in a new sci-fi universe as a tabletop war game. Sign me up. You get to direct captain and crew to determine the fate of the Reaches in gripping, ever-changing competition adventure. This is also, on top of this, made by Unknown World Entertainment, who made Subnautica and some other games that I'm going to date myself if I mention. Subnautica was fantastic. Their Subnautica Sub-Zero release had some problems, but they have proven that they can make good games. It's going to be interesting to see them make one that's not story-driven like Subnautica. But yeah, September 29th, that's soon for early access, Steam only. Not surprised. This is a very PC game.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I kind of follow Brandon Sanderson. I must have just missed this. I had no idea that he was working on this. So
I kind of dig the idea. So we did some board games online, some tabletop gaming online, Tabletop Simulator, and I'll be gosh darned if it didn't just simplify the heck out of playing Twilight Imperium.
Oh, yeah.
So I can imagine something with 40K, you're rolling a lot of dice. I mean, this seems like a cool way. Your buddy, he moved across country. You can't play with him anymore. Now you can. It's really looking like it's in that same vein, but there's bright, fun colors. I mean, I think you even get to paint your figs.
Yes.
So, Come on.
So yeah,
come on.
You get to choose your minis in your loadout, right? But you also get to paint them. So it did show in the
without
gameplay.
having to actually paint them.
Without,
Right.
I mean, it doesn't
which
get
I've
better
done.
than that.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
I just heard Henry Cavill's panties drop so
Oh my
hard.
God,
It
true.
just
Yeah.
blasted through.
They need to get him playing this game.
This is right up his alley. I'll watch Henry Cavill play this for days.
Well, before we gush too much, we have another game.
We
up
do
on
have
the
another
docket.
game. So my next offering is Friends vs. Friends. Now it's described as a frantic online PvP shooter that combines combat and deck building. So that's a weird combination. So choose a character, build your deck, and test your friendship with the craziest card effects. Fast, fun, friends. So this is from Brainwash Gang, to be announced on Steam and consoles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You said Friends versus Friends PvP shooter, and I just pictured somebody saying, "We gave your friends a gun. They're gonna shoot you."
But only unless you shoot them first.
This is like if Miami Vice and what was the really gory
Happy Tree Friends.
Happy Tree Friends kind of had a baby. That's what
Yeah.
this looks like. At least the
Kinda.
cinematic trailer.
I was gonna say, yeah. From what we're seeing here, it's very like, yeah, if Doom and Hello Kitty.
Oh, there's some gameplay.
Yep, this one has some gameplay after the cinematic.
Nice.
Okay,
It's
cell
nice.
shaded, first person. Yeah, not a lot. Quick cut, so it's hard to tell what's going on. But
But the whole deck building aspect in there with the shooter,
Yeah.
that's kind of neat. I mean, I'm glad they're doing some innovating. So yeah, that's kind of not my style of animation for the game, but hey, deck building and a shooter, that's weird. I mean, I might give it a try.
they're
just
throwing
based on
deck
its-
building in every game nowadays.
Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah,
Deck building is doing really well, man.
people like it.
There's the Slay the Spire, Monster Train. I mean,
We just had Neon White. It's a speedrunning game, but also deck
but
building.
also deck building. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, very interesting. Up next, we've got Lies of P, the letter P, not the thing that you do by yourself,
Oh,
hopefully.
God, I'm reading the copy. What the fuck?
Inspired by the familiar story of Pinocchio, Lies of
Would you tell it in a little creepier fashion, please?
Inspired by the familiar story of Pinocchio, Lies of P is an action Souls-like game set in a dark Belle Epoque world. Guide Pinocchio in his unrelenting journey to become human. This is brought to you by NeoWiz. The release date is to be announced. It's going to be on Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. Based on what we see, so right now we're in the cinematic trailer and we're watching that, and
She's got the leprosy.
it's a very realistic looking game, but from the gameplay that we get, it looks like a Souls-like.
They describe it as such.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks good. It's got kind of a steampunk aesthetic, and I mean, so we're not getting the classic story of Pinocchio, right? So what we're getting here is we're getting Pinocchio, the original
robot boy.
the original Pinocchio, the violent one. So, you play as what I assume is Pinocchio. In the trailer, we actually meet Geppetto. Geppetto says, my son, it's nice to finally meet you. Really cool trailer. I really highly suggest you check it out. It really threw me off guard because I saw, the description was, Lies of P is a Pinocchio story. And I was like, okay, we're going to get kind of a Disney fanfare. But no, really, it's a violent gore fest Souls-like. One that's got a really cool steampunk aesthetic, and I dig it. I like the looks of this a lot.
I was gonna say, yeah, dude, I dig how it looks, but I mean, why'd they have to use Pinocchio? Like, there's puppets are already creepy. I
Dude,
don't think they need
make Pinocchio cool. Really, at the end of the day, why not?
It looks like Miyazaki from Dark Souls got a hold of Pinocchio IP.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. There's some high magic use that we see. Like, we're seeing fireballs cast, electricity cast from the hand, giant swords, monster dogs.
Dude, unless he's killing donkeys that are also children, I'm not interested.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
It could be.
That's fair.
I mean, that may be. Maybe he's on an island full of children donkeys where he murders all of them
He kills the chonkies.
inside of a giant whale.
Gotta,
Chonky sounds like a slur.
yeah.
It does.
It's what you call a chud when you don't like them.
What's a chud?
It's a horse people.
It's a horse.
It is a horse people.
A centaur?
Humanoid horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was Liza P to be announced.
We'll get to. I already went over that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Liza P to be announced. Steam, PS5, PS4,
desperately
Xbox Series, and Xbox One. We'll get back to Justin Roiland here in just a little bit because we've got some Rick and Morty
so much more sense
stuff going on later.
Okay. Next up, we have Bizarre Strange Alien Dawn. Brave into a new world in Stranded Alien Dawn, a planet survival sim placing the fate of a small marooned group in your hands. Forge your story through compelling and immersive strategic gameplay as you make vital decisions to protect your survivors. This is made by Haimamont Games, which was definitely some kind of Eastern Europe game company, given the short thing I was able to watch. If I pull up their page here, what else did they have to work on? They worked on Surviving Mars, which was a Mars colony sim management game that I really enjoyed. Victor Vron, Tropico 5. A surprising amount of people on my list have worked on Tropico.
Yeah.
It is a multi-developer title. Omerta, if you guys remember that one, it's a ways back. But yeah, they have a history of games that is similar in vein to this. Having not seen much more than what we're showing right now, I don't know much more to tell you. It's looking like some kind of survival sim. I'm guessing over the shoulder isometric camera. It's looking like maybe a colony management game. Yep. We've seen a lot of those. This is a sci-fi one. Sci-fi colony management sims, unless they're on Mars, not super common.
Not a lot of them.
Given they have history with Surviving Mars and Tropico, this won't be their first rodeo. But I am a little afraid to say much more, given that I don't know really the history of their other titles. It was a very short trailer. But if you're like me, any 4X, any colony management sim, you're going to get intrigued about and check it out. This one is going into early access come October, which means wishlist it.
It's just around the corner.
And it's Steam, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So I have Atlas Fallen. Rise from the dust and glide the sands of a timeless land filled with the ancient dangers, mysteries, and fragments of the past. Yes. Hunt legendary monsters with powerful sand-infused weapons and abilities. Spectacular superpowered combat. This is from Deck 13 Interactive. Its determined date of arrival is some point in 2023. And y'all, this is just a next-gen release. What? And on Steam, of course.
Okay.
But, like, from the description, it sounds like you're getting an amped-up Prince of Persia, right? Zipping around, sand, powers, things. I don't know. But from what we're seeing here...
To me, it looks like Destiny in the desert.
Yep, it's I was kind of just about to say, it looks like Destiny in the desert. But,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be neat. The description's kind of cool, but we'll have to see. I kind of feel like...
this is the first game that allows you to use pocket sand as a weapon.
I mean, you're just being a bender, right? You know?
Yeah, there's definitely some kind of high magic going on here. Mm-hmm. Ironically, this is from the same developer who made the original Lords of the Fallen, as well as The Surge, if all of you remember The Surge at all. Kind of a hit-or-miss game that came out. Dude with superpowers. I didn't choose this kind of deal. Yeah. I think that was a PS3 game, PS4 game. Yeah, really awesome cinematic trailer.
Yeah, again, the cinematics look it looks really cool, but until we get a gameplay trailer, hard to see. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks pretty neat, taking down them creepy sand monsters.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting from this is it looks like there's a lot of high magic, which I'm into. But otherwise, it looks like pretty standard cinematic fare for a Destiny sequel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, it has some of that big Destiny energy, but
BDE.
They're killing sand bears.
They are killing sand sand bear
They're awfully
lions.
cuddly looking. I feel bad for the sand bears.
Very warm at the very least.
Yes. All right. Back to me because of Homeworld 3. That rhymes, fills me with glee. Homeworld is a game that you either know and you're immediately like, Homeworld. I wish they made a third one of those. Well, they are. Homeworld 3, it's happening. It's coming out. I've talked about this a couple podcasts ago because it was huge news. How do you describe Homeworld 3? So storyline is vaguely similar to Battlestar Galactica. You are humanity. You're not at Earth. You're trying to find home, and you control a fleet of spaceships in this mixture of RTS kind of three-dimensional battlegrounds as well as real-time space combat. You're also, producing ships. Homeworld was known for having a lot of granular control over the kind of ships you make and how you tackle missions, combined with an amazing story and extremely good writing. The developers here, Blackbird Interactive, have a lot to live up to. If I pull up their thing here, besides Homeworld 3, Crossfire Legion, Hard Space Shipbreaker, which I really liked, the game where you tear apart spaceships as a cowboy, as well as Minecraft Legends, which hasn't been released yet. Looks like some kind of action-adventure Minecraft game. Hard Space Shipbreaker had great aesthetics. They obviously have a love for space. I never finished the game, but I did enjoy what I played of it. So, if you don't know what Homeworld is, I recommend looking into it. This is coming out sometime in the first half of next year, 2023, on Steam and the Epic Games Store. Hopefully they will do it justice. It deserves it. It's been a long time.
It looks pretty dope. I like the space scenes, dude. I'm all about
it. Was
stuff
really
in
like
space,
the Dune game we always wanted.
Yeah.
The old Homeworld games,
Yeah.
except in space. Like it has that same feel as Dune. Stark, immense, lower world building.
I would say it has a really large feel to it from
super
what we're
grand,
seeing.
yeah.
So, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. I'm gonna be looking into that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going back to me. Yay! Have you ever wanted to be high on life? Well, now you can with a fun new game from the mind of Justin Roiland. Comes the game High on Life. Humanity is being threatened by an alien cartel who wants to use them as drugs. That's right, people. We're drugs. It's up to you to rescue your partner with a charismatic talking gun, take down
Garmantuous.
That was one hell of a word.
It took me a second too.
There's so many words.
Garmantuous and his gang, and save the world. This is coming from Squanch Games Incorporated, and it's going to be on Steam, Epic Games Store, and Xbox Series X.
Now, I do kind of want to check out the audio for this trailer because it is a Justin Roiland fair, and in order to really understand how this game is going to play, what it's going to sound like, I say we take a look at the sound because your guns talk. Let's go to the boss fight. That's not it.
It's just a dude laughing.
Look at us, blasting away. Oh yeah, that's one of my children. They die fast. Don't worry, it's easy to make more.
Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty. If you like Rick and Morty, you're gonna like this game.
Yeah, your guns are very sassy and talkative during the game.
I'm knifey. Stab.
That knife has a
I
face.
need more stabbing.
Oh my.
It's violent and gory, but in a very super cartoony manner, guys. So, but all the talking guns, that is great. It feels very Rick and Morty-y. So stretch out your squanches and get to squanching for this game, okay, guys?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're going to be yelled at by Justin Roiland for like the entirety of the game.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as long as there's enough voice lines and we're not hearing the same ones over and over and over again, I'm into it. I'm into it.
I'm definitely into it.
You got one for us, Andy?
I mean, I love Justin Roiland stuff. Yeah, I do. So it fell on me, the guy that's never read or watched The Expanse.
With the other two people obsessed with The Expanse.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're getting, I mean, what more do I need to tell you other than we're getting a Telltale Games Expanse?
That looks good.
That's it.
I mean, studio for it.
It's The Expanse made by Telltale Games. So it looks, I mean, everybody knows the Telltale Games. You play a story. Mm-hmm. That's 100% it. And this takes place in the Expanse universe. Everything's to be announced about this game. There is only a theatrical trailer out. There was almost no information on the website except for the theatrical trailer. If I go to the Steam page, there is nothing yet.
Looks like you're playing as drummer.
I was going to say it looks like drummer.
There was nothing on the Xbox or PlayStation website. So far, this is what we have, is a theatrical trailer. But The Expanse is huge. People love that shit.
Josh and I are over here having the same thought. I would let drummer beat the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, that looks like drummer.
If you haven't watched The Expanse, there's something wrong with you. It is arguably the best sci-fi show to ever be released in television format.
Also,
it rivals Star Trek.
The
it
books
rivals.
Are great.
Oh, the books are great too. Do yourself a favor if you like sci-fi at all. If you like murder mysteries, if you like politics, if you like violence and aliens and mind-blowing stuff.
This gives you a little bit of everything because you get that political thriller for a couple of books. You get just the raw adventure. You get it gives you a little bit of everything. And I recently found out that there's one name on the book, but it's two dudes who are writing this thing. And I absolutely could not tell. It's
they pair it
seamless.
perfectly.
It's wonderful. Read the books. Listen to them on audio. Watch the TV show. Play this game, guys.
Yeah. Next up, something I know nothing about. Here we go. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game. I don't know. Is that the feel here?
Kind of, yeah.
Plan your own alien invasion and harvest humans as the iconic Killer Clowns, or gather a team of survivors to fight those extraterrestrial threats in a game based on the 80s cult classic movie. Welcome to a new crazy take on the asymmetrical multiplayer horror experience. Quoting asymmetrical horror experience, I'm assuming they mean Dead by Daylight. It's probably right along that vein. We're definitely getting that old 80s treatment on screen here. Same executive director as the Friday the 13th game, TerraVision Games, which has one other game I could see claim to fame, Captain Toonhead vs. the Punks from Outer Space. So very much the same vein. And if you know Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I'm familiar with it through pop culture, never seen it. And you like it, this is probably going to be right up your alley. They spell crazy with 2 A's and 2 Z's, so that gives you a little idea of the feel of this game. But yeah, it's looking like they said you can either play as the Killer Clowns and have your own mechanics, or you can play as the survivors trying to escape them, which I imagine plays a little bit separately. Coming out early 2023 on Steam, Xbox, and the other Xboxes, apparently. All the Xboxes. The original one?
Thank you, Xbox, for just not giving them numbers. Can we just get Xbox 5, please? Because saying Xbox Series makes sense because it's the Series X and the Series S. But then you have to wonder, is it coming out on Xbox One? No. You have to be specific, right?
Yeah,
definitely. Fucking Xbox.
Yeah. So hopefully they're attempting to capitalize on that Stranger Things feel, because that's obviously
definitely not. So it's a Killer Clowns from Outer Space was a very tongue-in-cheek style horror movie back in the 80s.
Now. Could have made it 5 years ago before Stranger Things was huge, but yeah, we'll see. It's a weird choice, but
it's a really weird IP to bring back from really 1988.
Yeah.
But that makes it interesting. Who knows?
All right, Josh, you got another one for us?
I do. This one is called Scars Above. Now, Scars Above is a challenging third-person action-adventure shooter, combining the rewarding feel of overcoming difficulty with a compelling and intricate story set in a mysterious alien world to explore. So this is an offering from Madhead Games. Now, as we're taking a look at it here, I mean, some sort of creepy space pyramid.
Apparently stared at the sky. It's their claim to fame.
No, we're taking. It's it's starting off exploring.
It's definitely got some Aliens Prometheus vibes.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm trying.
It's looking like this game and another unannounced project are their only games.
Yeah. So
we don't know anything yet.
That was another ongoing theme of Gamescom so far, is a lot of European developers and a lot of new developers comprised of other big development companies. So, right now is a tumultuous time in game development, and developers are leaving at an alarming rate from studios to create their own studios. By alarming, I don't mean in a bad way, just at a very rapid pace.
I mean, it looks kind of cool. I'm not really. It looks like it's just you're going to be exploring an open world exploration game with some shooter and monster hunting elements to it so far. I mean, it looks kind of neat. But it's
space exploration and killing aliens.
Sci-fi is being leaned into heavy at
taking off, man.
Yeah, dude.
Unless it's a Souls-like, it's sci-fi.
Yep, it's right. I'm excited to see more of it. And we'll check back in on this one as we get a little more releases. So
different field, but I did find they made a game called Adam Wolf with an E. 9 out of 10 on Steam, 4.1 out of 5 on Google Play. I'm not sure what the game plays like, but that's a good sign that this isn't really their first game, and their previous game at least has good reviews. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the next one we've got is, I'm going to need your help with this pronunciation, guys.
Wyro Song?
That's what I thought, but I couldn't decide on whether it was Wyro Song or Wiro Song.
You can also just say Biscuit.
Biscuit. Wyro Song is a brand new RPG by industry veterans of Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Fallout 4 and The Outer Worlds. This is a new game development company called Something Wicked Games. This is going to be their first big game. Now, we don't have any more information than that. It's a trailer only. It's to be announced. It's very much in early development. But it's something to be excited if you're into the Skyrims, the Outer Worlds, the Fallouts. Thematically, it looks probably high fantasy. It's really hard to tell from this trailer.
I'm either getting weird time travel nonsense or alternate dimension nonsense from what little they showed in the trailer.
So when they say from the industry veterans that brought you all these games, those are all made like by different studios and things.
So
or is it just
who
people
worked at those studios? Okay. Some of them had left.
So we were just talking about lots of developers leaving.
So they formed and combined to make their own studio.
Yep.
Okay.
They made their own studio with Blackjack and Hookers.
Dude, I'm all about Blackjack and Hookers. I really like a lot of those games that those people made. So
a lot of people do. I mean, Skyrim is arguably the best game ever made. For some metrics, yes. If you were to take a worldwide poll of the games that everybody's played and what is their favorite, Skyrim might win. It is a hugely loved game. I don't get it. But
someone we know is actually playing it right now, and it made me consider buying Skyrim I don't know how many time.
I mean, it's the 25th time, right?
At least. But I want to play that mod that lets you play with other people, and I want to go fuck up his game.
For sure.
That would be the only reason I go back to Skyrim, playing the multiplayer Skyrim together or whatever.
Yeah.
Jump into Colin's game and just leave poops in his closet.
No, I'm just going to start murdering the townsfolk that he's cultivated.
He's already done that. You're going to show up.
I'm going to murder the ones he's cultivated relationships with. I'm going to steal from his horde. No. I'm going to burn down his house.
You know, he's already decked them out with like season 13 war gear.
Kill Vinny.
Kick your shit in.
I'm going to kick Lydia down the stairs.
Did you just quote Kill Jester? Kill Jester?
Kill Vinny.
Oh.
The guy's name was Vin Ezekiel. He's a character in Skyrim.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. So,
you're quoting dude.
Dude, that's like so meta for our group. It's ridiculous. Okay. It would take me longer than we have to explain.
Okay.
Josh, or who's next?
It's
Nick.
me. Where we have Where Winds Meets. Where Winds Meets. Where as in location, winds as in zephyrs, and meets as in get-togethers, where winds meets. The copy is open world martial arts game.
Yep, because that's all we know.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm seeing cherry blossom trees, Shinto-looking buildings, long billowing sleeves. I'm getting some Wuxia vibes. The east wind blew again in my garden last night. That is a euphemism.
That is a euphemism for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Honey, have you been seeing east wind again?
So Everstone Games is a brand new Chinese developer.
Okay.
They don't even have a website up, at least not one that reaches beyond the great internet wall.
Yeah, I tried looking for them.
Yes.
The one site that had any information wasn't pulling anything up.
Everything is TBA. It's a trailer only, but it's a nice looking trailer. The only information that I could find, and this was pulled from IGN, was it takes place in the 10 dynasties, and then it is an open world martial arts game. There is a little bit of what looks like gameplay.
The 10 Kingdoms?
The 10 Kingdoms?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's 900 to 980. I don't know that off the top of my head, but for you history buffs out there.
Yeah.
You know, I could talk at length if we had time about the rise of Chinese culture in video games. And there's a lot of reason for that. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
It's so far Assassin's Creed-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Sekiro or the other. What was the other one? The Japanese one that won a bunch of awards. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, thank you, God.
Because I don't know if it's that good. Getting a little bit of an Unreal Engine demo of tech feel. We'll see. But there is so much cool Chinese lore that Western audiences have not been exposed to. I mean, my first exposure was Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
And I was like, who are these characters? And I find out like the Lu Bu and all those characters, they're in like every Chinese game because those are their, like we have the Greek pantheon of a lot of our Western games. They have their own thing here. And I love seeing Chinese lore as much as I kind of don't like overpowered anime-esque games. This doesn't look to be too crazy. Little Wuxia, but yeah.
Graphics look good. The animations look smooth. I don't know how far in development this is. Maybe so far they've just made a trailer, right?
Yeah, the trailer only to be announced. Well,
I
guess we'll just have to wait and see.
The trailer looks really good. If those are gameplay graphics, those will depending. I mean, it's obviously
they're definitely in engine.
But those need.
But getting a Chinese themed game from China, that's what's to be excited about, I think.
I mean, isn't it just going to steal your information? Probably.
It's too late for that.
Everybody
does that already.
Yeah, Tencent already owns about 45% of you, Josh.
Fair enough. Yep. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is absolutely.
You played Overwatch. Tencent owns 45% of you.
Day.
Yeah.
Yep. God damn it, they got me.
Yeah, it's a long trailer. Go check it out. It's called Where Winds Meet. No other information in the trailer currently, but it is a great cinematic experience. So check it out.
And look, Sephiroth's in it.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, what's next?
I got Park Beyond. In Park Beyond, you can create the park of your dreams. Now I'm thinking it's probably a theme park where you're like making rides and that kind of stuff, rather than like Parks and Rec kind of a park. So you're making all kinds of roller coasters and. Homie, guess what?
You thought they were going to make a Parks and Rec video game?
I mean...
Was that your first thought?
Well, I was imagining kind of like City Manager.
City
Builder.
Okay,
but like
I'll give you that.
I'll
give you that.
Game.
Yeah.
But then obviously it's more like, roller coaster tycoon and stuff like that, but without gravity really playing a role. So you do you, boo, when it comes to me. You want to fire your patrons out of a cannon and into the thing on a roller coaster? Go for it. You want to send them backwards through, time? That might be a thing.
I don't know if we saw that, but...
No. I mean, they're flying, they're jumping.
This is, Roller Coaster Tycoon, super over the top, though, right?
Very animated.
Yeah, we're seeing almost Willy Wonka level of... not tomfoolery, but kind of along those lines. If you want to make a hyper non-realistic, cartoony, over-the-top roller coaster tycoon park, that is this. This game is not Parks and Rec the game. It is not all about the cones, but it does look interesting.
And it features Ron Swanson.
Swan Ronson?
Swan Ronson. Make sure you check out Park Beyond with Swan Ronson.
So this one's going to be announced in 2023. And once again, guys, it looks like we have a next gen only release and on Steam, of course.
Indeedy. Next up, we have Blacktail. Forge the legend of...
I don't know if you can do that anymore.
God.
Forge the legend of Baba Yaga, a girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from her home. Live out the origins of the Slavic myth in this one-of-a-kind blend of intense archery combat and dark storytelling set in a vibrant fairy tale world. Made by The Parasite, we're looking at a December 15th release on Steam, PS5, and Xbox Series. It's got a very Coven, Wiccan style vibe. The gameplay trailer the theatrical trailer rather has lots of crows, weird deer skulls, and some archery going on.
Yeah, Baba Yaga, classic Slavic folklore.
And cool. I mean, like it's a super cool theme. We saw that. What was that show?
The Witcher.
No. What was that? The HBO show.
Baba Yaga.
Oh my God! Never mind. Not worth it. So
okay.
Cool game.
It looks pretty neat. I don't know why is Baba Yaga using a bow? Shouldn't she be like? I mean, if she's using a bow, it should be a drive-by from her house chicken.
Well, maybe she doesn't have the chicken yet.
Okay, then she's not Baba Yaga, homie.
Yet.
I don't even know if you're playing as Baba Yaga.
Oh, okay.
A girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from her home. It's from the legend
Forge
of
the legend of Baba Yaga.
Okay.
Oh, no, live out the origins of Slavic myth. Maybe you are. Maybe she has to find her chicken.
Yeah, I've got to find the chicken.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, she doesn't just grow on trees. Maybe it does. I've never been to Eastern Europe, so
I've never seen a chicken.
No. Speaking of animals, Phantom Hellcat,
That's a Scooby-Doo villain.
I thought that was a car.
Hellcat is a car.
Hellcat is a car.
It's a very unfortunate vehicle.
Isn't the Phantom a car and the Hellcat's a car?
Yes.
And together, Phantom Hellcat
Is two cars.
Is not a car. This is a quantum state. This is actually a dynamic slasher platformer with showy combos in a theatrical setting. When demons kidnap Jolene's mother, the young woman must take the stage and save her. I was going to do it, but I'm glad you did it. But in the world of plays and props, things are not always what they appear to be. Sometimes they're chicken-footed houses. No, we're looking at a 3D game, some side-scrolling, some over-the-shoulder. I'm getting... I almost quoted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jose Canseco here. But yeah, it's... I don't really know how to describe this. A little dark side-y combat.
A little bit.
With some weird side-scrolling scenes.
It's really
maybe Batman
weird.
Legends style combat, or Assassin's Creed somewhere in there.
It's really weird. I don't know how to identify this game.
30 seconds long. We're rewatching the same clip. So, a game seemingly driven by its ambiance and its feel. I know nothing about the story because we're watching tiny edited 3-second clips of the game, but it looks like an interesting premise, some kind of hyper fantastical operatic style game.
I mean, so it's kind of in the description. It's a dynamic slasher platformer. So you spend part of the game in a 3D slasher, Assassin's Creed, like yeah, and then you get some side-scrolling platforming.
Platforming.
Yeah. I mean, aesthetically pleasing, but other than that, we don't have much information.
I don't know, dude. I kind of like that blending of the styles.
Yeah, it's neat.
Idea.
It looks good.
Pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Only game it looks like from Ironbird Creations. This one is to be announced for release date: Steam, PS5, PS4, and the Xbox Series
and Xbox One.
And
isn't that
included?
It's not part of Xbox Series.
What does Series mean?
Series X and Series S.
Mm-hmm. Not X Series O.
Nope.
They don't have that type out yet.
Well, then I screwed up like the last 3 games. I thought that was all Xbox games. The Zobix series. Okay,
right,
so skipping the next couple, you got some for us, Josh?
I do. This is the Outlast Trials. I don't like how I've managed to get all the scary games tonight. The Outlast Trials is a survival horror game where you can play by yourself. come the fuck on, or with a group of friends. Yay! You'll have to survive the twisted, sadistic, and bizarre experiments of the Murkoff Corporation. It's a subsidiary of Monsanto. So, I mean, we don't know what's going on there. No, I'm just shouldn't. Yeah. Anyway, alone or in a group of 4 players, you have to survive this shit. This looks creepy as fuck. I don't like any of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's the next Outlast game. It is creepy as shit. So we've had Outlast and Outlast 2. Your typical run-of-the-mill linear storyline horror games. Really freaky. Outlast was a great game. A lot of it was seen through the point of view of a video camera screen.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was the only way to see in the dark and it's a camera that required batteries, right? So like
Very Fatal Frame-esque.
very much so. I mean that's kind of the MacGuffin, but deeply scary games. Now
she reached into his neck for something. That's not right.
I mean, this looks like it's in a similar style, but it's also a multiplayer game, which I like. I think seeing these kind of
I don't really know how that would work.
horror style games with multiplayer, I don't know either, and that's why I'm interested. Right? Yeah, I'd like to see how this plays in a multiplayer setting. Is it going to be something like your Dead by Daylights, or is it going to be another linear horror game?
Given the look and the feel, looks like somewhere between an insane asylum and BioShock.
Yeah.
I'd say you're probably all playing inmates in this weird insane asylum.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
If you were playing as the villain, as somebody was, I imagine they would have put that up front and center in the description. So, or maybe some person's on the camera and another person's on the ground. I don't know.
Could be. I mean, we don't know. So far, we really only have a theatrical trailer with a little bit of gameplay splashed in there. At any rate, the Outlast Trials is available on request for early access and is available on Steam.
Oh, damn. Is that what it was? That one of our requesters or?
No? Oh yeah. Well, no, that one. So the ones that are available on Steam, you guys are gonna have to try and get into the betas for. I did sign us up for Dune Awakening.
Oh, okay. Dope!
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man, that'd be cool.
hopefully we get into
cool.
we get into Dune Awakening. That seems like a game that we can probably all play together.
Okay.
Next up, we've got the finals.
The finals.
This is a weird one. Not that the others haven't been. So join the finals, the world famous free-to-play combat-centered game show. Fight alongside your teammates in virtual arenas that you can alter, exploit, and even destroy. Build your own playstyle in this first-person shooter to win escalating tournaments and lasting fame. It's made by Embark Studios. Coming soon. Early access available on request for Steam.
Okay. Yeah, that was literally like a 5-second gameplay trailer.
It's really short. Yeah, 24-second trailer, and a lot of it is just flashing words on screen. So yeah, it looks like an arena shooter.
I mean, some of the aesthetics feel like they're just like that's.
It's a mishmash or mishmash. Yeah.
Feels apexy.
But you can request early access on Steam. So, I mean, that's something that I've signed up for. I encourage you guys to sign up for it too. It's free early access, so something to check out.
This is being, I assume, published, perhaps developed by Nexon. I'm not sure. I have a history with Nexon. I know very much the kind of games they make. That said, Maple Story, Malbinogi, this is very much not that.
Very much not that.
But they've made some other similar shooter-esque games in the past, and they don't tend to do well.
Sure.
So
this is Embark Studios as far as the developer is concerned. I don't know who comprises them. Nexon's just publishing them. At least that's what Steam lists it as.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, it's never a great sign when your first release trailer is 5 seconds long.
Yeah, right.
But,
I mean, other than flashing words, you get about 5 seconds worth of content, and it's coins falling into your face. So
that doesn't. It's going to be a lot of coins I have to order to get anything neat in the game.
If I had to guess, Valorant with destructible terrain.
Probably.
That's where I would put my 90 cents that I'd bet on this.
Yeah, with loot boxes, probably.
Probably with a lot of loot boxes. Boxes and boxes. Finally, we have Dead Island 2. Dead Island came out before we were doing this.
Yeah, long before.
I was cheated by Dead Island. They had one of the best gameplay trailers ever released.
Absolutely.
Heartstring tugging reverse time trailer of a father dealing with the loss of his daughter to zombies. The trailer implied the most amazing zombie game that we were not ready for. It was essentially like The Last of Us. That was the feel of the trailer. And then the game came out, and it was that it's like that puddle of water at the gas station that you step in when you get out of your car.
Yeah.
So, knowing that trailer, it looks like a trailer, good graphics. It's gonna be a great trailer, maybe. Who knows? Different feel so far. But they're not going to show any gameplay, it looks like. So I don't know what to tell you other than the first Dead Island had some appeal, but it was a grindy, collect craftable materials to make stuff and fight zombies in a very generic zombie game universe.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how is that any different than the one where you fought him at the mall and threw CDs at him and shit?
that one was funny,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
and Dead Island wasn't.
Oh, fair enough.
Dead Island definitely tried to be funny in some parts, but ultimately,
it was huge whiplash.
Yeah.
The
they
trailer
got Lenny
implied
Kravitz
one
for this
thing,
one, so.
and then the game was another. But given the copy here, deadly virus is spreading across Los Angeles, turning inhabitants into zombies, bitten, infected, but more than just immune. You uncover the truth behind the outbreak and discover who or what you are. This is being made by Dam Busters Studio, which if I had a thing pulled up, it looks like their only other games to claim are Chorus back last year and Homefront: The Revolution, which I never played the Homefront games. That was a PlayStation Line only.
I played a little bit of the first Homefront, and it was pretty good. I mean,
Okay,
it's all right.
so yeah, we'll see. This is coming out February 2nd of next year. Epic Game Store, PS5, PS4, Xbox, all the things. Alexa Game Control, so you can play this game on your Alexa. She will visibly flash while she audibly describes the gameplay to you. And Stadia, which is probably going to be defunct by next February. So
the funny thing about the Stadia thing is, the rumor mill was saying Stadia was shutting down. Google came out and said, "Yeah, no, that we never said that. That's not a thing that's happening. In fact, we're really trying to bolster Stadia. Stop trying to kill it before it's dead," which was the funny part. Now, so what we just watched was the theatrical trailer. I want you guys real quick for Dead Island 2 to check out the
Alexa gameplay trailer?
The gameplay trailer with me. Now, this is the only thing that really turns me off because, maybe they learned from their first game and they said, okay, we can do better. And now they're putting out Dead Island 2. This is the part that has me worried is because this says this is the official gameplay trailer. This is a separate trailer from the one that we just had on screen. And we are, 24 seconds into a 2-minute gameplay trailer. And we have no gameplay. And even what we're seeing now is pre-rendered cutscenes from the game. So while you may run into this as part of gameplay, so far we haven't seen a gun in hand. We haven't seen weapons being carried. There's a little bit. Yeah, it shows you ramming pipes and knives through zombie heads.
what was the good first-person zombie game that Brian really liked that he played on the PlayStation? Not Dead by Daylight, but had a similar name. I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
There was one where it had a day-night cycle and the zombies were crazy at night.
Oh, God.
You had like a grappling hook or something.
Deadlight?
Looks like... This looks like it's trying to be that. We'll see. I don't know. See if you can...
Deadlight.
Was it Deadlight?
No. Deadlight's a side scroller.
Doesn't sound correct.
Yeah, Deadlight's a side scroller. I played Deadlight.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's a first-person zombie game. It's looks like they're stealing a little bit of vibe from Far Cry.
A little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say it has...
I think Stan Lee just shot a zombie with an M1 Garand. So
it certainly looks more tongue-in-cheek, and especially from the cinematic trailer that we got versus the original cinematic trailer for Dead Island. It looks like they know what they're putting out now. So it's an action-adventure survival crafting.
Maybe if I was able to hear the audio of the new trailer, I would learn that they've realized not to make a trailer that has nothing to do with the game that they've released. Maybe they're trying to be more direct this time. I don't know.
It looks like they're trying to be more direct. I mean, you got the entire experience. There was no audio needed, really. There was a little bit of tongue-in-cheek going on in what we saw. You don't need to necessarily hear it. Hearing it helps, I suppose, definitely. You can get a little bit more of the dialogue. It is tongue-in-cheek, but also weirdly serious in the gameplay trailer. So it's hard to tell. Honestly, if anything, it's a reversal. The official cinematic trailer was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and it seemed a little bit more serious in the gameplay trailer. So
who knows,
dude? Who knows?
You have any standouts you're looking at, Andy, from that massive list?
Now, as far as standouts, having thought about it a little bit, to be honest, I think my standout is probably the Lords of the Fallen. We got mostly just the theatrical trailers, so it's hard to tell, right? Yeah. So it's hard to tell. That would probably be my first and foremost.
Okay.
No, you know what? It's Lies of P.
Lies is a Pinocchio game.
Yeah.
That one looks like it could have some promise.
It looks like it's very fluid combat. The storyline or the story that we have so far intrigues me. I'd like to see how they handle a Pinocchio style game that's that violent. And it looks, while it's described as Souls-like, it does look a little bit faster, something more like akin to a Bloodborne, where the combat isn't quite as slow. And a little bit more, I wouldn't say more rhythmic.
Just faster.
Faster, faster. That probably is my standout pick if I had to choose one. And we actually did get gameplay from that one.
We did.
That might be my entire reason.
Ooh, the Pinocchio game, when I was reading about it earlier, I have to admit, immediately intrigued me, just from like the copy and the idea. But I think my standouts for things that I'm most interested in is going to be the Expanse game. That seems very, very cool. I like I like the Expanse universe, and if I get to be a part of another story told in it, I'm kind of all for that. And then the High on Life game, I think we'll want to keep an eye on that because that's going to be funny. I mean, the man's a genius, so that's just going to be funny. But something that's like outside of just like my personal like likings and leanings, I'm thinking Under the Waves. That Jesus Christ!
You said it. Now you got to play it.
Now you got to play it.
That seems creepy as fuck. And like from the trailer I got, it honestly, like I had a reaction from the game. So I feel like that has to be the standout for me, other than like my own personal, like, well, I like this.
No, it stood out.
Yeah. So,
I mean, personally, got a lot of games really looking forward to, but kind of in line positive feedback loop. The more I'm looking forward to it, the more concerned I am. Dune Awakening is probably the game I'm least concerned about, given their track record and their previous. They just released a previous Dune game, Spice Wars, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
So Dune Awakening is looking great. As far as brand new crazy stuff, Moonbreaker, out of the blue, a Brandon Sanderson Warhammer-esque tabletop game with minis. Sign me up. Nothing to lose there if it's bad. You know, I'm not sunk into it. Homeworld 3,
of course,
is like, I mean, I played the game. It's a childhood game. I loved it to death. So huge concern, but we'll see. The idea of an Expanse game, again, like, you know, there's a lot of room there for games. That and what was the other MMO? The Dune Awakening. They're both MMO-esque games. Like it's concerning. Just because we've seen so many MMO or MMO adjacent games come and go.
We've been playing a lot of them recently.
We've been playing a lot of them. But yeah, other than that, the idea of the developers from Elder Scrolls and Skyrim and Dragon Age and Fallout making Wyra Song, and the Outer Worlds, which Outer Worlds was not Outer Wilds.
Correct.
Outer Worlds was kind of, it was like boring Fallout.
It was boring Fallout.
So
it was whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. No offense to the devs. You tried. It had a good feel, but the
dude,
gameplay
it felt
was
like like, dude, that was like the early access. It's like, hey, come play around for 10 hours in our cool little world that we've just built. Don't worry, we're going to add more things and stuff to do. But,
Yeah.
It just felt like fetch questing.
Yeah.
You know, it was like the bones of Fallout, but with none of the charm.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, that's one game out of the list. So they got a lot of industry devs working on something. Wyro Song, who knows? That one's kind of a mystery for me.
Marauders, I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to as well.
Marauders
The
was-
looter shooter extraction game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Looks, I mean,
I love the idea of looter shooters. I tried to get you guys to play Psycho Frontier. We played a little bit of it. I cannot play them solo. I'm too terrified.
Sure.
I played Psycho Frontier maybe 10 hours without you guys, and every time was me just silently sneaking around, trying not to die. And it's a cool concept. It just, you got to have people to play with.
Yeah.
Right. So
no, I feel you. It did come at a time where we were playing a few too many games all at the same time. Because Psycho Frontier, we had V Rising that we were all playing together, DayZ that we started all playing together. WoW that a few of us played together. I mean, we were. I mean, it got to the point where we were all playing a game together, or at least parts of our group were playing a game together. Like every night of the week, with the exception of D&D night, which we play together. So yeah, I mean,
man, I wish I'd branched out more in my 20s.
So that Marauders looks cool and like something we can probably all play together. Like Psycho Frontier, yeah. As long as we're not all playing a bunch of the other new games,
we're gonna get our shit kicked in, but it'll be fun.
it'll be fun. Yeah, fuck it.
Bunch of mid-30-year-olds trying to play FPS games.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed our long-winded review of, I think it was 782 games was the final total.
Or 38.
38.
738.
738. So I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you for watching. Make sure you stay tuned in the live stream, guys. We're going to be doing balcony time right after this. Again, guys, I'm so sorry. Balcony time hasn't been going up. I'm still fighting YouTube shit.
You know,
It's too good.
Well, there might just be episodes that I can't post, and then we might just get.
That happens.
And then
Put
we
them
might
on
just
Patreon.
get rolling back with it. So yeah, exactly. So it may be content for the future, but there may just be some episodes we can't post. I'm still trying for you guys. Maybe you'll get some extra content out of it. Again, I want to remind everybody. Go to videogametango.com. I know it's kind of hard to just listen to a bunch of people talking about game trailers, especially since we didn't get gameplay trailers. So make sure you check out videogametango.com. I'm going to have all of our show notes, trailers, links to the Steam downloads, the platforms it's going to be released on, release dates. Make sure you go to the blog. It's all going to be there. I'll have that updated before the podcast even goes up. So, videogametango.com. You can also catch us everywhere from videogametango.com. It's literally one-stop place.
We're very easily catchable.
You guys want to watch our Twitch stream? Go to videogametango.com. Click on the live tag. Like, it really is that easy.
The easiest place to find us, though, is that same Tango time and same Tango place.